welcome back to my channel. Um, so if you clicked on this video, then obviously you want to know um, some things that you should know before joining the Navy. So these are some things that like I wish usually I do my research before just jumping into anything, but I wish I would have researched a little bit more before fully committing. I'm not saying that I don't want to be in the Navy. I do want to be in the Navy. There's like a bunch of good there's a lot of pros to being in the Navy, but um there's a lot of pros to being in the Navy, but I feel like there's just things that you should know before signing your contract. And one of those things is to do your research, because like some people will tell you, oh, like it doesn't matter what rate you get as long as you're in the Navy or whatever. Sometimes people tell you things just to get you to sign a contract, but at the end of the day, like if it's something that you're going to be doing, then you want to make sure that, because you're going to be doing that job for some years. It's not like you're going to get the job and then like be able to change it right away. So you're going to be doing that job for a while. So you want to make sure that like you're gonna at least like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So like if, for instance, you don't want to be in the medical field, don't choose to be in the medical field. Like just don't do it because somebody is telling you, okay, well, even if you get out, you're gonna have a job, this, that, and the third. Make sure that it is something that you are gonna be okay with yourself doing. Like, period. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. That's that. My second thing is to know why you're joining, right? A lot of people join to take care of their family, to support their families. Some people join because of money problems or to be like financially stable. Some people join for school. Some people join for patriarchy. Know the reason why you're joining, right? And don't lose sight of the reason why you're joining, because there are going to be times where you're going to have to put the military above your family in a sense, like because you're going to be away from your family at some point. Like when you go to boot camp, you're not going to be with your family. When you go to A school, C school, whatever, you're not going to be with your family for the most part. So with those things, keeping those things in mind, just make sure that like you don't lose sight of the reason why you joined. You know what I mean? Money, right? The military does give people a sense of like financial freedom in a sense, because like for instance, I'm in A school, so I don't necessarily have to spend money on food, right? But I'm still getting paid. Like I still get paid every 2 weeks, and I don't necessarily have the bills that I had in the civilian world, right? So I have the ability to save money.
Make sure that while you're in the military, you are saving money.
Like that should be one of your top priorities, is like, okay, this is my opportunity to save because I'm getting this extra money, technically, which is your entire check. Like I'm getting this extra money. I don't have these bills, this bill, or whatever that I have to pay because of the military. Like use it as an advantage, and don't decide just because you are making $2,000 a month and you're not used to making $2,000 a month that you go and buy a whole bunch of extravagant shoes or sneakers. You can also start investing at this time. Like it's a perfect time to start investing and building financial security. A lot of people who join the military are young. They're like 18 to 24, I think, is the majority of the age. So they don't necessarily have the mindset of them saying like, okay, I want to save this money because I want to have financial security in the future, or I plan on having children, so I'm going to save this money for my kids for the future. Like they don't necessarily think that way. And I feel like if you are going to join the military and you're going to be given this sort of like responsibility and financial freedom, that you got to be responsible with it. I'm not telling you how to spend your money. Like, you can go, I bought a pair of Yeezys when I got out of boot camp, because that was just my one like splurge. Like, you gotta splurge every now and again. You can't be a stickler with your money, but at the same time you want to be smart. You don't want to go and just like spend every dime you make. 3, be prepared to sacrifice. Okay, so like I said, like when you join the military, it's not going to be, okay, well, I joined the military so that I can do school, and that's just going to be all you're doing, right? Because you signed a contract for a job, a job that requires a lot from you mentally, and physically. Like, you join the military, you kind of need to be like a little bit in fit, or like be able to get fit, or whatever the situation is. But you need to be prepared to sacrifice some time, sacrifice some sleep, sacrifice the fact that you're not going to be around like your loved ones all the time, because this job can be kind of time consuming, time demanding, depending on whether or not you're on sea duty or shore duty or A school or training, whatever the situation is. And you got to make sure that you have a support system that's going to be able to back you up on that. You know what I mean? If you're in a relationship, like you got a boyfriend or a girlfriend or whatever the situation is, this is going to be the time where it's a make or break. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a make or break, because some people can't do not being near you all the time, or like the long distance thing. But if you can make it through this, then like, that's a good thing, because you do need a support system. Number 4 is get a little in shape, or be prepared to be in boot camp longer or get kicked out. And I say that to say this, right? It's the military. Like, people watch movies about people being in the military. Like, if you ever see G.I. Jane or whatever, like, they carrying stuff and like heavy loads and stuff like that. Like, it's not necessarily like that in boot camp, but it is physical. You know what I mean? So like, you want to make sure that like you're running before you join, you're working out before you join. I'm gonna do a little video on like workouts and stuff you could do to get prepared for boot camp. But you should be making sure that you're doing physical activity before you just decide to up and join. Because if you get here and you get to boot camp and you get disappointed because you thought, I don't know what you thought. I don't know what you thought was going to happen, but you get disappointed because you get set back because you fail your run or whatever the situation is, and then all of a sudden you want to quit. Like, it comes with the territory of joining. Once you sign that contract, once you take that oath or whatever the situation is, your life changes. It is. It's just going to change. So work out. So you can graduate on time, and make sure like you're reading that depth booklet, and you know your chain of command and your ranks and recognitions. And boot camp should be a smooth ride for you. Run, study. Boot camp should be a smooth ride. Okay, so yeah, this is the Navy, right? So we deal with most of our rates. At some point, you're going to be on a ship. So don't join the Navy and just think, oh, I'm not going to a ship. You're at the needs of the Navy. If they want you on a ship, you go into a ship, and that's just that. So don't join the Navy talking about you scared of the water, you scared of ships, and whatever the situation is. If you can't get over that, like if you can't get over the fact that like you're gonna have to be on a ship, the Navy is not the branch for you. Maybe you could try a different branch, but like that's just not the Navy. Be prepared to be on a ship. That's all I'm gonna say. Because we have sea duty, shore duty, rotations for most rates, and yeah, that's just that. And then the last thing I put on here was duty. So I don't know if y'all ever heard, but there's this little thing called watch and duty days. And today is actually my duty day. So, and I'm in A school. So everybody in the Navy has watch and the duty section. It was like that in boot camp. I was starter watch in boot camp for 2 divisions. If y'all watched the video before this video, then you know that I was in boot camp for a little while. But yeah, I was starter watch in 2 divisions, and then we had duty sections. We had watch. So every so often, like I think it's like every 2 to like 6 days, most of the time, is well for the school that I'm at right now. Our duty section is every 6 days. That's the rotation. So your section is going to be on duty. That doesn't necessarily mean that you'll have watch, but that is your duty section date. Most rates have different types of watches, and they go more into depth with those type of watches, but everybody's gonna have watch. I got a 2 to 4 today, so team no sleep, and I got a lab tomorrow, so that's just what that is. Just get used to it. You gotta take the punches as they come. Also, another thing that I didn't write down is try to prepare yourself mentally, right? A lot of people, like I said, that join the military are 18 to 24 years old. So a lot of those people that join are either like fresh out of high school, fresh out of like college sometimes, never lived alone, never had a sense of independence. So the military is a kind of a culture shock, especially if you come from like a household where like you can kind of do what you want and there's not really that much structure or whatever. So joining the military is definitely a culture shock. And it can be difficult for some people that are used to like being able to run to mommy and daddy and getting mommy and daddy to do everything for them. So that if you think that's gonna happen for you and here, it's just not what's gonna happen. Also, I think that's it actually. I mean, for all that I can say, just my main thing from all of this is choose your rate, choose your fate. Because at the end of the day, like, when you had like that regular job, and it wasn't making you happy. Like if you had a job and it just wasn't making you happy, and you could just quit because it was a job. The Navy, the military is not really like a regular job. It's more of a career that you can't necessarily just leave because you don't feel like you like that job or you want to be there. Like that's just not how it works. So research the rates before you go into the recruiting office and tell them like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. Like I do want to be in the Navy, I do want to be in the military, but I'm not joining if I can't get one of these rates. Do not sign for something you do not want. You will be stressed out. You will be stressed out and stuck. So that's my advice. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just close this out. But if you have any questions, any like comments, if you have any concerns, anything, you can go ahead and you can leave me a comment down below. You can also hit me up on my Instagram. You can ask me questions on there and I'll be happy to answer them. I'll probably answer them faster because I'm always on the ground. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go now.